Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm just reading an article about an executive who uses a coffee cup test to filter candidates in a job interview. As if we need to do that, right? Apparently we have a worker shortage. I think we have a pickiness shortage where, once upon a time, you got hired to do a job, right? Especially back during the Industrial Revolution, you got hired based on how many widgets you made, right? Somewhere down the road, we decided that these soft skills, regardless of what you produce, see, if you went out to buy a robot to do a job, you might wonder how many widgets an hour it could produce, right? You certainly wouldn't care what color that robot was, right? Or right now, as I speak, we have robots that drink gasoline. Some robots plug into a wall. Other robots in the future, here's an interesting one. Other robots in the future might make use of a fuel that was discovered, because we're so xenophobic, we might be against that was discovered by a Polish scientist, a female Polish scientist. Would you be against a robot that used a fuel like that, even though it might be cheaper to run, right? I'll let you chew on that thought. But once upon a time, we hired people based on how many widgets they could churn. But somewhere down the road. So anyways, this article goes on to say that the boss was interested in seeing if the candidate would take their dirty coffee cup to the kitchen or whatever the situation is. Now, it seems like a harmless matter. The problem with that is that I can speak to this, and I'm sure a lot of other people can as well. I have dietary sensitivities. I cannot just randomly eat or drink stuff, and unfortunately, a lot of job interviews nowadays revolve around a meal. Now, I was discussing this on Facebook, and people said, well, come on, you're an adult. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to say no. Yes, I do. The point is that at a job interview, I don't want my first impression to be me having to say no to a certain food item or something like that. I had a bad experience relating to that, actually. I had been interviewing with a private tutoring agency. So this organization had been hiring tutors to go to people's homes to tutor. This was just before COVID-19, when things like that were a little bit more acceptable to do. Nowadays, a lot of that is remote, thank God. But we had arranged to meet at a restaurant, and as I'm ordering at the restaurant, I tell the waiter that I have some sensitivities, very gently. Hey, would you mind, whoever's preparing my order, if they could change their gloves? Thank you so much. Now, the waiter made the mistake. Now, don't get me wrong, he was maybe younger than me. I want to say he was in his late teens, early 20s. He made the mistake of discussing with me at length about my food sensitivities and how his brother sometimes has bad reactions to that, and I really was not in the mood to go into such detail. My interviewer is near me, and as we sit down to eat, the interviewer tells me, you realize this is a job where you have to go to families' homes, right? I said, of course, that's what I applied for. And then she went on to grill me about how I would feel if they were preparing food or cooking food in the home or offering me food. And I told them, I've dealt with this issue for 30 years. I think I can take care of myself. And I quickly changed the subject. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. And I think part of it, if the interview had happened in some other circumstance where food wasn't the center of attention. Now, here's the interesting part of it. I talked to a friend who works with human resources. I asked her, how can I avoid this problem? And my friend suggested that I email back the recruiter thanking them and repeating that I know how to take care of myself, and if the issue was about my health condition, you don't need to worry. I was hoping they would be dumb enough to respond to that and say that, this is a huge liability issue or something like that. Then I would have proof that they had a problem with that. They didn't even respond to that email. Not long after that COVID hit, and I didn't want to go after that any further. I had enough other issues to deal with. And so, but articles like this make me worry, because not everybody can safely drink coffee or safely handle an unknown food. Some people have compromised immune systems, may not be comfortable sharing food with somebody else, right? And it's going to filter a lot of other things other than whether or not. So the best way to conduct a job interview is to let people live their own lives, right? And you be you, me be me, and who does the job best, right? And I just want to point that out, right? The more social barriers you put in it, the more you're going to catch somebody who has a slight difference that would be harmless otherwise, but you're forcing them to stick out in some way that they might not want their first impression to be. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.